Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is April 15th, and we are live for the Daily Drop-In Morning Show, where the Teach Better team gets to be live every single day at 7 a.m. Eastern. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn, and we are so excited to get started with this morning's conversation. Of course, Brad Hughes is in the house because it's Friday morning. We also, of course, have some good news stories for you, some wonderful holidays, and we'll be wrapping up our conversation for our theme this week on leadership practices and setting up for what next week will look like. So go fill up your coffee and we'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hey, Brad, how are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Ray. I'm doing really well. Happy Friday to you. Happy Passover. Happy Easter. Blessed Ramadan for those that are observing Ramadan. It is a weekend full of family and holiday traditions coming up. And I'm wondering how your week was, friend.
I know I'm just so excited that there's so many holidays to celebrate, but in addition to the mainstream religious holidays that I know are going on, this weekend, there's also a million other holidays that we'll have to talk about on the show. So just funny that even though it already feels to be a holiday packed weekend, there's still more. So it'll be exciting. Are you guys celebrating Easter this weekend?
In a quiet way, yes. So it's Good Friday here in Ontario and in many parts of the world. So our schools are closed today, and so looking forward to a weekend ahead. It's going to be a quiet weekend. It's going to be sort of a family-focused home weekend, and my daughter is moving back from university residence this weekend. So we'll be welcoming her back to the household for the summer, which is going to be a joy, and looking forward to connecting with family and friends over the weekend. But just taking it easy. We're still working our way through household and let's face it, community illness, and so just proceeding gently, proceeding cautiously, but just taking some much needed time to be connected and stay connected. What have you got? What have you got set up for the weekend?
Yeah, so we have Passover this weekend, which it's very rare that Passover and Easter are actually on the same weekend. Typically, Passover moves because it's on the lunar calendar. So it's kind of nice when it ends on the same weekend or lands on the same weekend, only because everybody feels like they have something to celebrate. I know it's not everybody, but just lots of people have lots of things to celebrate, I guess is the point. So we'll actually be seeing family today and tomorrow for that.
Oh, beautiful.
That'll be kind of fun. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It should be exciting. I need to go hunt down some flowers. I don't ever like to show up to any sort of like family gathering, regardless of the size, empty-handed. But Passover has very specific food requirements, so you can't bring food. So I think I'm going to go hunt down some flowers.
Is there a go-to flower that you search for, or do you pick up whatever catches your eye?
It's really funny you asked that. That has been a big debate in my world this week.
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards no specific flower, but a specific, okay, how do I say this without sounding like a loser? A specific like vibe on the flower. Like I want to go somewhere nice and get some nice flowers, maybe some flowers wrapped in like brown parchment paper, like something that feels a little special. That's my goal.
I'm thinking pastel colored tulips. I mean, they signal spring, rebirth. They're beautiful. Maybe for a splash of color, one or two Gerbera or Gerbera daisies thrown in there. I think I get the vibe you're looking for. Not formal, just familiar and welcoming for spring and Passover.
Brad, I should have had you pick out the flowers and just like mail them to me. It sounds like you really understand what I'm looking for.
I can do exactly that. You just set me up, and I'll make sure that you get a bouquet that meets your blooming needs.
I love it. If anyone is listening this morning and has a flower opinion, feel free to start off our morning in the comments letting us know what flowers you like to bring over. Brad, I know that you've had a busy few weeks. Has this week gone all right for you? Or I'm sure that everybody appreciated that it was a four-day week in your school building.
Oh, it's gone so well for me personally and for our school community, Ray. It's been a great week. It's been a gratifying week, connecting and learning about a new school community. Finishing my second week in a new elementary school as school principal, and so excited, so grateful to be there, Ray. I know that great things are in store for the school community, and I feel really grateful and excited to be a part of it. So it was a good move personally and professionally, and great people doing great things for
Mhm.
kids. I mean, there's hard work to be done, but we want to make it a place where it's not a hard place to come to work. And our mission is to make it a place where people continue to look forward to coming to each and every day, and leave feeling glad they came even for a small reason. Very, very good week, happy to say.
I love that. I'm so glad to hear that. That's so good.
Thank you.
This week for me, or at least related to the Teach Better team specifically, was full of, it seems like, every single educational leader booking their professional development for the summer and fall. Like
Wow.
everything for my week was focused around the calendar. Like who on
Mm.
the team is available for this training, who on the team can go to this district. It feels like I had a very open summer with, kind of like quiet work to be done. And then instantaneously after this week, we are not only in a school building every single day all summer, seemingly, but multiple team members will be in multiple different buildings doing multiple trainings for educational staff all summer. It's kind of exciting to see the calendar fill up, but I do have a different vibe coming from the summer than what I thought or think a week ago, but should be
Oh,
fun.
I have a proposal, and I think that Teach Better Labs. Sorry, I'm letting the cat out of the bag. Teach Better Labs is a new cutting edge research branch of the Teach Better team. And I think we're working on educator cloning. I know that many teachers and educators feel that they're called to be in 2 or 3 different places at once. I think of our teachers that are on a rotary timetable that go from class to class, and they literally have to be in 2 places at once. This is what Teach Better team needs, Ray, to meet these educator demands and these requests for professional development. And I would like to propose that Teach Better Labs experiment with some educator cloning. Maybe Chad 1 and Chad 2, maybe Gargus A and Gargus B. You just never know. You can never have too much of Dr. Dave Schmittou. So I propose Dr. Dave Schmittou Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, and we'll take it from there.
I really am supportive of educator cloning because I know many a times in the school buildings, we need more teachers and we also need more phenomenal teachers. And those educators in our Teach Better community are worthy of a cloning. I will tell you though, I in no way, shape, or form am going to condone multiple Jeff Garguses. There's no way. One is plenty. We do not need more of him.
I think what you mean to say is he is the one and the only, and any attempt at replication or duplication is just futile. Is that maybe what you're saying?
Let's go with that for the sake of kindness this morning. Let's do that.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
That's awesome.
No, but it was definitely a good week, a busy week. For those of you that are tuning in this morning, maybe not needing to go to work this morning and just enjoying a cup of coffee on your couch as you tune in for Daily Drop-In, we appreciate you. And also, if you need any dates this summer, direct message me soon because apparently we're filling up.
It's both exciting to hear that Teach Better team is going to be so active in summer professional learning. I think it also speaks to the commitment to ongoing learning that educators all across the world devote that time to improving their craft, always with improving outcomes for students in mind. And sometimes what motivates educators to commit to that time is that one kid, that one kid they have in mind that they've either finished the year serving and supporting, or a kid that they're looking forward to connecting with in the coming year. It's sometimes that one kid that is the spark to say, I want to dig in a little bit deeper. I want to improve and enhance what I know and can do to meet the needs of that one kid. And therefore, we're meeting the needs of all in all kinds of different ways. Very exciting, very gratifying. And I know that's part of educator culture.
So important. I do love that Alex is claiming your first clone. You know what, Brad? I'm okay if we clone you. I could totally handle like 5 or 6 Brad Hughes. I think the energy would be infectious.
3 words, Ray. Too much wordplay. There's only so much. There's only so many puns that people can put up with without just running away and screaming. So, Alex, I really appreciate the vote of confidence, friend. But I'm just gonna. I think I actually have to dial myself down a little time. So we'll take it from there.
I will say, Brad, speaking of summer, we also had a lot of conversation about a get together that we're doing internally for our team at the end of July. Can
Mhm.
you believe we're going to get every single team member together at the end of the summer? It's going to be crazy.
I am so looking forward to it. It'll be my first opportunity to meet in person with my Teach Better family. And it's also an opportunity for us to not only invest personally, but also invest professionally in the work of the team. The better we know each other and the better we know all of the different aspects of Teach Better Team and what it has to offer and what it contributes, the better we can serve. So I'm really excited about it. Sounds like a great venue and a great opportunity, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh, it'll be so great. Yeah, that's like at the end of July. We're going to try and bring the team together for a little like cabin away, little vacation to talk shop and get ready, not only for the upcoming year, but for all the goals that we have, not only in 2022, but 2023. We tried to do something like this, Brad. We tried in March of 2020, and COVID truly changed all of our plans. So it'll be exciting to try this again. And holy moly, does the team look different now. So very exciting that we'll be able to bring people together to kind of celebrate. And I know it will be only specific to our internal team, but it's really to prep so that we're ready for our Teach Better conference, where our entire Teach Better family is invited to come join that. So it'll be great.
It reminds me of that analogy of dropping pebbles into a pond. And so if you consider that Teach Better retreat or Teach Better community gathering, you just never know what amazing ripples could spread out that lead to opportunities, like you said, Ray, with the Teach Better 22, or well, again, I think of the investment in summer professional development you're describing. You know, that kind of planning and intentionality. When you get great people and great hearts together, you just never know where the ripples might end.
So good. So important. How do you feel about documenting our moment of gratitude this morning?
I feel great about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every single morning, I know if you're tuning in for the first time, you may not know this, so we'll go over it really quick, but we use an app called Happy Feed to document our moment of gratitude every single morning on the show. And Brad, you know what I love so much about this app is not just that we're documenting a moment of gratitude every morning, but that we're able to revisit these moments. I think it's so special that you get reminders of things you've been grateful for in past weeks, past days. And I really enjoy kind of the opportunity to revisit great memories. Even though, you know, sometimes things feel hard, you almost forget all these great things. So this morning, I'm excited to document a moment of gratitude with you. What are you feeling this morning as something you're grateful for?
Ray, I'm just feeling grateful for the opportunity to be connected and to stay connected with so many educators doing hard things and doing quality work and learning through practice. I guess I'm grateful for the mindset of giving ourselves permission to learn through practice and to gradually become better. When we think about the Teach Better mindset, better today than yesterday, better tomorrow than today, if we're all invested in that and giving ourselves permission to not know the answers, but to find them together, that's where my moment of gratitude is today.
And that's so good. I'm looking at past moments of gratitude that we've documented. A month ago, we had Andrea sharing that she was grateful for finally having nice weather.
Yeah.
What's the weather like today for you, Brad? Do you have any idea? I haven't even checked the weather yet on my end.
Yeah, it's right now it's partly cloudy. There'll be some sunny breaks today. I think it's going to be a high of 11 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to guess that's around 55, 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sure.
And the turn in the weather is indeed most welcome. I took the winter tires off, not me, but garage took the winter tires off the car yesterday, and so we've got the all seasons on there. And anyway, that's the Easter weekend, and the removing of the winter tires in many parts of North America is an incredible turning point in the season and in perspectives. Much to look forward to.
Absolutely. It looks like 2 weeks ago we were grateful for our green hearts. I love that one. I love a good green heart celebration. So fun. So thanks for documenting that with me. It's always so nice to be able to put that into our Happy Feed app.
You got it.
Yeah. We're going to head into our good news for this morning. It is Friday, April 15th. Many people are snoozing in today as they enjoy possibly a day off of work with Good Friday and a lot of other holidays coming in. So let's acknowledge those holidays. We'll be right back. Brad, something I love about our Friday Fridays together is that we get to change it up and do the good news article before the holidays. You still game with that this morning?
100%. It's now a Brad and Rae Friday tradition, starting off with our good news story, brought to you today by coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee.
Woo, sign me up.
Well, yeah, a good news, Rae. I want to share with you, courtesy of goodnet.org, 5 awesome coffee drinking traditions from around the world. Can you tell us first about your brew this morning? What kind of coffee are you enjoying today?
Okay, I will tell you, and this has also come up a lot this week, so I'm happy to talk about. I love my coffee maker, and it was something I bought on sale on a whim. You know, when you go like to like a Walmart or a Meijer and you see something on sale and you're like, oh, I shouldn't pull the trigger, but you do. I have an espresso coffee maker that is like travel side. It's literally like
Oh,
not much bigger than this. It's a very tiny machine and it makes the best cup of coffee in the morning. I love it. I know that there are so many flavors you can buy in different colors. I buy the same black pack every single time. I can't help it. I love the flavor. It's always good in the morning.
one thing I love about these traditions that I'm sharing, Rae, is that it doesn't result in sort of added flavor like
Mm,
amaretto or Irish cream, but
yeah.
5 different ways coffee is prepared in the world using roasting techniques and just really loving craftsmanship with the original bean. First is from Mexico, where coffee is sometimes served in a clay pot and it's
Ooh,
flavored with cinnamon. Another one is Italy, of course, you've got your Americano or your cappuccino. Uh, the Italian coffee break, especially with a biscotti, is an
mm.
important tradition bringing people together. Rae, what if I told you that in Finland, Scandinavians sometimes make coffee flavored with cheese?
Ooh, okay. I could totally see coffee and cheese being paired together, but flavored with cheese is a new one for me.
Yeah, in Finland, it may be traditional to pour hot brewed coffee over a piece of dried cheese,
Hmm.
which, according to goodnews.net, makes it creamy, a creamy brew, and you can try that Scandinavian style. Two
Oh,
last coffee styles from Cuba. Cuban coffee culture is huge, deep, rich coffee, and it was in Cuba that the Cubans filtered coffee with sugar using a fabric funnel. So if you have a drip coffee maker, you may be able to thank that ingenuity to our friends in Cuba. And finally, Ethiopian coffee, Rae, where the beans are roast over charcoal and then ground and served in a special clay pot as part of a coffee ceremony. So there are many cultures where both tea and coffee is not only something to drink, but it's a ritual, bringing people together and allowing people to pass down these kind of hospitality traditions from person to person. So 5 coffee traditions from around the world. That's posted in our Facebook stream there. You can check those out and you can enjoy a different brew, well, every day next week if you wish, right?
I would try all of those.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Sign me up. It's really interesting, Brad. Somebody earlier this week was like asking me about my preference in like adult beverages, and they were asking if you would do a specific tasting with maybe certain alcohol flavors. I will let you know that was not so enticing. Talking about tasting different coffee made in different ways, even the one with cheese or with the sugar, oh my, like that sounds so exciting for me. That is what I want to do. I want to do a coffee tasting.
I think it's a brilliant idea. There have to be, coffee bars and cafes that offer those kinds of special events. I think of going to a pub and you can get like a beer flight or a wine flight or a whiskey flight. I
Right.
wonder if there are. Have you ever seen in your area? I mean, incredible restaurants and cafes in Chicago area. Have you seen like coffee flights being offered?
There must be, but I
Yeah.
have never been exposed to it. So I'm gonna go Google it. I think that would be such a fun activity. Specifically this week we were talking about like a tequila flight, which I think is just too intense for me. But I think if I went somewhere that made me a flight of different coffee brews, especially in different ways. I love all the ways that you just listed different cultures making their coffee. I think that would be such a fun opportunity. I can't wait to look that up.
Rae, I think you and I have the grounds
Huh.
for an incredible business plan, an adjunct business from Teach Better called Brew Better. And I think we can kick things off at our summer summit, and we can experiment with coffee flights with our internal team. And then, Rae, you and I, 2024, we're going to launch Brew Better, and the signature events are going to come together around coffee flights. What do you think?
I am such an advocate. You do know that Jeff Gargas is trying to create Cook Better-ish, a cookbook for teachers-ish that'll
Oh,
help you be better at cooking a little. I think that is kind of the first step in getting Brew Better up and running. I really love this.
I think so. And I think the moment that our first customers taste it, they're going to think, where has this been all my life?
I love Fridays.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so good. Brad, are you okay celebrating some holidays, even if it's not the holiday of coffee? Because I feel like we need to add that in for this morning.
I'm all over the holidays, Rae. And you know me, I'm always up for a fantastic, authentic, fake holiday.
I love a great fake holiday. There are some very real holidays today, but also
There
there
sure
are
are.
some fake ones. We're going to celebrate all the stinking holidays today because regardless if you identify with a specific religious holiday, a specific ethnic holiday, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of opportunity to celebrate today. So let's go through these. And there are a lot, but I think most of them are really worth noting. The
Mhm.
first one, like we've mentioned, it is Good Friday. So for those of you that are celebrating, we hope that you have a wonderful Good Friday and a wonderful Easter. We know that those are very connected from my understanding. It's also National Laundry Day. I don't know that I want to celebrate this one today. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. It sounds like a wash up to me, Rae. But anyway, moving along.
So good. It's Jackie Robinson Day for those of you
Yeah.
that are big baseball fans, and National Anime Day. Do any of those spark your fancy?
Well, both. I'm a baseball fan. I cheer for our local Toronto Blue Jays. Jackie Robinson, incredibly influential, and somebody not only to be remembered, but to be honored in terms of pioneering approaches in the major leagues. And anime, absolutely. I'm a huge animation fan, and do watch and enjoy a lot of different styles of anime, and I love that.
I love it. Good. There's also some food holidays today, one of which is it is officially Glazed Spiral Ham Day, which I assume must be something that people consume. But here's my question. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I know many people love a great spiral ham, but you can't eat that during Ramadan. You can't eat that and for Passover. And I'm pretty sure on Friday, can't you not eat meat if it's Good Friday?
I think it may be tradition in many Christian households to eat fish on Friday.
Right. So
But
isn't it, this should be this should be Spiral Ham Day like tomorrow or Saturday for maybe some Christian families who are eating that for Easter, but Good Friday seems like the wrong day to have this also as a holiday.
the only thing I can think of, Ray, well, I can think of two things. One is it's probably developed by the Ham Marketing Bureau of the US, whatever that is. And maybe what they're doing is they're enticing people to prepare for the family meal by going to the store, picking up that glazed spiral ham, and having it ready. But you're right, it kind of a mismatch to me.
Kind of a mismatch, but either way, if you are somebody who does eat ham, maybe it's something that you choose to celebrate on a different day or later on. I know many families don't consume ham, but I do love the concept of like a glazed something. So maybe there's elements of that holiday you could celebrate. It's also National Rubber Eraser Day and Take a Wild Guess Day. So Brad, I know that you are, the holder of all the knowledge, but do you ever take a wild guess?
Uh, I'm going to tell you, first of all, that National Eraser Day, I'm not crazy about that. Kind of rubs me the wrong way. But I always take wild guesses. And I really try to promote people, just taking, anyway, as educators, well, as people, we often put so much pressure on ourselves to know the right answer. And what I found and what I try to encourage is there is a range of responses to any situation that may be helpful. And so if we give ourselves permission to take a wild guess and say, here's what I think is the next best step, I think it can be really freeing. So yeah, I'm all about the wild guessing.
I love it. So good. As we did mention, it is Passover for those Jewish families who are celebrating. That's an 8-day holiday that many people celebrate, especially the first 2 days. So that's coming up tonight. It is also Titanic Remembrance Day. And something interesting, it is the day of Emma Watson, who is a incredible, talented actress and a huge advocate for women's rights.
Incredible. She's an incredible individual, shifting and leveraging her fame in especially in the Harry Potter films to making a difference. Just working as an individual and an advocate, tremendously poised, tremendously, and she's a fierce but very positive advocate. I'm a huge Emma Watson fan. So happy Emma Watson Day.
I love it. And yeah, I feel like sometimes actors or actresses, famous celebrities have a day dedicated to them. Yep. Emma Watson is one I will absolutely celebrate. She is one that if I ever catch her doing an interview or being featured somewhere, I love to tune in. I love the way she speaks. I think she's very articulate, just a wonderful woman inside and out, from what I understand, at least from knowing her through a screen. So just kind of fun to celebrate so many different things today, depending on what you are identifying most with in the world. I do want to say good morning to all of our friends that continue to be so active in the comments. It's wonderful to see you this morning. And if you're listening later on Teach Better Talk podcast, we really appreciate you too. We hope you find something to celebrate, regardless of what day you seem to be tuning in on this morning. Brad, I know we have a lot to still cover in our show today, one of which is heading into our brainstorm bank to talk about our theme this week and kind of wrap that up. You ready to head that direction?
Already.
Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, April 15th, and we are headed into our Brainstorm Bank. As many of you know, Brainstorm Bank is a segment we love to do every single show. It's something that we've done every single show specifically to ensure that you have a space to brainstorm. We know that we are constantly thinking through the right solution to the different dilemmas we are encountering in education, and you never need to brainstorm on an island in isolation. We're here to support you. Brad and I absolutely do not promise to have the right answer for any problem, but we'd love to be a part of the journey to find the right fit for you and whatever you're working through. So please let us know in the chat if you have anything that you want us to discuss or debate. Brad, our theme this week was all about leadership practices. And I know that that is something that you can add a lot of insight to. So when I say the term leadership practices, what's the first thing you think of?
Well, the first thing I think of, Rae, and the first thing I'd like to do is to give a shout out to a school leader who's shifting into a new leadership position. That's Adam Cottis. And Adam, tremendously proud of you and wishing you all the best as you shift into school leadership in a new school community. And, you know, the Brainstorm Bank and Rae and Brad and all of your Teach Better family are going to be here for you every step of the way. And when I think of leadership, I think of a couple of things. One is I truly believe that leadership is for everyone. And anywhere there's an opportunity where you can be a bridge between the unknown to the known, or between a problem and some kind of a solution. And if you're able to rally others to the cause, then that's leadership. And so we often focus on people in individual leadership roles. We may misunderstand or may not recognize that there is leadership that is active within any community, especially within our school communities, you know, working teacher to teacher, educator to educator, you know, moving things forward and standing in the gap between where we are and where we want to be. The other thing that comes to mind, and when I think about Adam's shift to a new leadership position and role, is that there is always an element of risk. And with that risk, especially when the stakes are high, there is a fear of failure. And school leaders, especially, there's a lot of fear about getting it wrong, because the stakes from your district or state or province, your school community, but also the stakes from within, holding ourselves to such high standards. It can be very risky, but I'll tell you, Rae, it's absolutely worth the risk, especially if you can cultivate a school community where you as school leader can say, I need your support. I need you to challenge my thinking. I need you to support my thinking. If you position yourself as someone who is open to critical and constructive feedback, you can always make the community decision as well as a leadership decision, right?
Do you find that it's ever challenging to improve leadership practices? Because it seems to be so focused on reflection. I feel like leadership practices, as we all strive to be better leaders, is such a personalized development that we are doing, that there doesn't seem to be one specific avenue to be a good leader. There's a lot of characteristics that a leader should possess. So depending on what people specifically need to improve on, everybody seems to be on their own journey towards becoming a better leader.
It's all about a cycle of asking and just being observant of what the community needs might be, and then participating as a leader in brainstorming what the solutions may be. And so when the solutions are shared, And when the solutions are generated as a community, then you get better buy-in, and people feel that they are part of the change. And I've been stressing to my new school community, our school staff, that as much as possible, I really want change to be something that happens with people and not just to them. Now, of course, there are going to be mandated changes and changes outside of our control where we're going to stop doing this and we're going to start doing that. But again, as much as possible, Ray, part of my ongoing leadership journey and practice is to be more and more intentional about making sure change is something that happens with, not to. And the last thing is gaining the confidence now in my role. It's my 11th year as a school leader, and now just being very comfortable with what I believe, and not only being willing to share what I believe and share my priorities, but also being willing to accept feedback on them to shape. I mean, I want to make sure that I am contributing to a school community where I am part of a solution, not simply the solution. So I just love every aspect of leadership, and try to find the improvement in meeting the needs of the adults and the kids in the community in which I serve just day to day.
Brad, we've had a few different conversations over the last few months where the suggestion of identifying your core pillars became relevant in our conversation. It was identifying 3 to 5 pillars that you feel strongly. And then if you make every decision with those 3 to 5 core pillars in mind, you're always going to be headed in a direction that you personally agree with, can support, can get behind. I think that those pillars, when we talked about those, weren't necessarily connected to leadership, but right now they feel very relevant. That as a leader, if you stand on some very intentional core beliefs, then as you move throughout your day, striving to make decisions, support others, and develop as a better leader day to day, those seem to be very relevant to kind of keep you grounded in your development. Any thoughts on that?
For sure. That's actually very relevant, Ray, because that's what I've been unpacking with the school where I serve at now. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, I think I've become more and more comfortable and confident in sharing those pillars. So one pillar I share to staff is that my passion is connecting with kids. And so in our hallways and classrooms, I want our faculty to be aware of what I'm doing and why. And I hope that they see the joy. And I know that joy is contagious in terms of connecting with kids and just celebrating each small moment. Another foundational belief is let no one pass by unacknowledged. So as I'm working around the halls or in the classrooms or in the front foyer or the parking lot or bus duty, just making sure that everyone that I pass or that passes by knows that I'm grateful for their presence. And if I have a chance to interact, so much the better. I also truly believe, and I get this from Dr. Stuart Shanker of Self-Reg, that the health and well-being of our kids is inextricable from the health and well-being of the key adults in their lives. So that means educators, parents, and caregivers. And so my commitment is to pour love and care and support into the adults, into those significant adults in kids' lives, so that they in turn have the capacity and the encouragement and what they need to serve and love kids. So those are some of my foundational beliefs. And as I said earlier, I'm working more diligently to make sure that change is a process that happens with people, not just to them. And so when I share those out, then I can also share out to the community, my faculty. If you see me behaving in a way that is inconsistent with what I've told you I believe, please call me on it, or please challenge my thinking, or please say, I wonder if, or I wonder what I'm seeing. Just be curious about it. And I guess that's one other pillar is sort of a learner's mind, raise, encouraging everybody on our faculty and the community to be learners and to seek a position or a stance of curiosity about things that are maybe not working well or need to be changed, rather than a determinist, or rather than stop this, start that. Let's get curious about why what we're seeing is happening. And we talk about, kids' behavior like that too. Let's get curious about where we see misbehavior and get curious about whether it may be indicating stresses or unmet needs. Dig deeper beyond what we see. And that goes for adults too. So those are some of my key my key pillars there, right?
Yeah, what I really value about this is that, and I mean this to be positive, so I'm gonna, say this backwards for a minute. I think many leaders like to share with their colleagues, their staff, the people that they're surrounded by, all these things they believe. But then sometimes their decisions, their actions don't always mirror those same beliefs, and that becomes confusing. That creates distrust. what I really value is that you're not only sharing what your core pillars are, but then really, really finding evidence to prove that that is something that you believe in, and encouraging others to hold you accountable when there doesn't seem to be an alignment between things going on and those core pillars. I think that is a really beautiful cycle of clear communication, an emphasis to create trust, and then a learner's element of ensuring that other people are a part of the process. I think if nothing more, that is such a beautiful mindset on leadership, to ensure that it's not just a proclamation or a statement, but truly embedded into the day-to-day culture. I think that creates wonderful leadership. I love that suggestion, that mindset, as we talk about leadership practices.
Well, I always come back and think of our good friend Livia Chan, who says every interaction is an opportunity to uplift others. And if nothing else, I mean, why are we in education if not to lift others, to improve others' lives? I just had a chance to talk with the incredible Dr. Neil Gupta, and his mission in 2022 is rise, and it's sometimes said we rise by lifting others, and that for me that is a cycle of service that I'm really committed to, Ray. I mean, I'm both soothed and energized by service, and when I find myself perseverating or feeling down, I look outward to serve and connect. And honestly, just the joy of connecting with a kid who's got a new haircut or new pair of shoes, or they're telling me something that happened with their dog, or just that moment of connection, moment after moment after moment of connection with kids is such a powerful engine of goodness and change in our school communities. And I'm really excited to be a school leader, and it's the best ongoing professional development that I can think of.
I'm so glad you brought up Neil's live, because you and Neil were so phenomenal together on camera. And that was such a wonderful interview. For those of you who missed it, it was on Wednesday night, and it was something that it wasn't too long. Like, if you're looking for a quick boost, some good information, obviously, to connect with Dr. Neil Gupta. Brad, I just thought you facilitated that conversation so well. It was such an engaging live to watch. And obviously, for those who participated in the comments live, there was a lot of interaction there. But if you guys missed that, that was a great conversation this week. Separate from Daily Drop-In, separate from Brain Break. It was just a Wednesday night conversation featuring Dr. Neil Gupta, featured speaker for the Teach Better conference. But Brad, wow, what a great connection there, to be able to encourage people to not miss that opportunity to learn, because that was such a fun conversation.
I had such a great time, and when the opportunity came to host Dr. Neil for that live, I jumped at it. He's someone that I deeply admire and truly respect in the connective and natural and gentle way he presents himself with every interaction. He's an incredibly learned and committed and experienced professional, but he's as humble and person focused as they come. And the fact to interact, the opportunity to interact with him and reflect on the joy that his family brings, and he's frequently sharing out his family's good news and his family's accomplishments as a dad and a partner and a cheerleader for his family. And so I'm glad we touched on that. And he said that it lit him up when he was asked about that. And again, this is the opportunity that we have. You and I coming together, or you and I interacting with our audience, or you and I, inviting these folks into our spaces, is to light each other up and to leave each other thinking, yeah, that was worth our time. And it certainly is worth, about 26 minutes of your time if you check out our interview with Dr. Neil Gupta.
Definitely go check it out. And Brad, it's so interesting you bring up and, remind me of the element of family that you guys discussed, because it's going to be so interesting at the Teach Better conference, October 14th and 15th, coming up here, because it will be wonderful to engage with our Teach Better family members. But so many people have already told me that they're considering bringing their spouse, or considering bringing, some of their family, because it feels like they're a part of this too. I mean, how many Zoom calls have we sat on with the ambassadors that have had spouses or children a part of the conversation? Or how many times have we engaged in the comments with somebody who's, sitting on the couch during Daily Drop-In with a kid that's starting their morning off with them. And it's just so funny that I think the Teach Better conference will not only be a great space for educators, but I'm so excited to hopefully see some spouses make an appearance, or some some young kids make an appearance, because it'll be such a wonderful environment for learning. It's always great to see everybody's family come together.
And when you say family, like, I think that runs like truly deep. That's just the foundation of what we do and why we do it, Rae, through Teach Better. Is it, we call it a family, but I truly believe it is. And anyone that has an opportunity to interact with any member of the Teach Better community, we really hope that resonates with you, that you belong, and that you contribute and you're welcome, and that everything that you bring along with you is part of the package.
So good. So fun. I don't think I'm going to be bringing my dogs with me to the Teach Better conference, but maybe I'll take a picture and do like a flat Stanley style at the conference. I'll just carry them around on a stick or something. That'll be good.
I love that.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, everyone. We actually, Brad, should probably transition here into our transition of recapping the week. Does that sound good?
That sounds fantastic. Always enjoy a good recap bumper, Rae.
I love it. And this is my favorite song. So friends, take a deep breath and bop around. All right, friends, as we get into recapping the week, Brad, I just have to do a random note here. Yeah. I posted a tweet that I also posted on Instagram. So it was like the image of a tweet from a blog that was just published over at teachbetter.com. And I don't think I've ever had so many people direct message me about how much the content meant to them. Yeah. And I really want to encourage you guys, if you have not gone to teachbetter.com and seen the recent blogs, there are a few really, really great ones that I've just seen within the past day or so that have been posted, that if you're looking for a little boost today, or you're looking for some words of encouragement, that could be a great opportunity. One of the specific tweets that seem to be getting a lot of engagement that people have been direct messaging me about is one from Dana, who is not only a blogger with us, but also a podcaster with us. She does incredible work, and it's all about educators striving to be better. So if anyone is interested, there's some great blogs over there that you can go check out. But specifically, I encourage you to go check out Dana's new blog. It seems to be really resonating with people.
It's now linked in our Facebook comments. So just click on Rae's tweet and check out Dana Goodyear. It was Dana that invited me to the podcast party, Rae. It was Dana that reached out and said, could I interview you for a podcast? And I was just so touched and excited. Like, someone wants to talk to me on a podcast? And so I was that I got hooked. I mean, as a guest, and then encouragement to become a podcaster. So huge thanks to Dana for setting me in that direction. And not only is she a wonderful broadcaster, but a wonderful writer as well. Lots to offer.
Yes. And I really, really did enjoy the blog, which is, when I shared it, I was like, oh, it's so fun to be able to share blogs that you're reading and see what other people think. And it really seems to be resonating with people, which is just so wonderful to see Dana's, voice being able to be elevated and shared out with a larger community. Definitely something to go check out. As far as recapping the week, though, all right, let's get into that. So Monday this week, Jeff and I started, obviously, the conversation off live. And while we were able to talk about a lot of things, the most important thing was that we announced 2 new featured speakers. There are 3 left at the time. There were 2 that we announced, which means there's only 1 speaker left to announce in this Teach Better Conference initial lineup before we announce, hopefully, all of your names that submitted proposals to also be a part of our lineup. But 2 more featured speakers. It was Dr. Neil Gupta and Kevin Butler. If you don't mind, Brad, do you mind if we play the little tune that we used to announce them?
Oh, absolutely. No problem at all.
All right, we'll be right back with this. We played this on Monday, but it really was exciting to be able to see this almost complete lineup. crazy to think about that we started that image full only of silhouettes, and now we only have one silhouette to uncover. It was so excited to announce Neil and Kevin as 2 more featured speakers, a part of this conference.
I think it's so cool that our Teach Better graphic specialist designed that in a honeycomb shape. So each cell of the honeycomb filled up with some sweet professional learning, and everyone is just all abuzz about this opportunity now, Rae.
Brad, it's like you understand me. It's like you understand me.
I think I do.
I love it. That was a fun announcement we were able to make Monday. Make sure that you check out the lives with those 2 incredible speakers. Obviously, Neil is what we referenced earlier. Neil was live with Brad on Wednesday. Definitely go check that out. And then we'll be live with Kevin next week, so you'll be able to learn from him. The famous Kevin Butler, featured on the Kelly Clarkson Show and so many other places, doing great things. So definitely someone to continue to learn from and meet in person at the Teach Better Conference. Make sure you submit your proposal to present. That closes at the end of this month, so about 15 days away. And obviously, we want you to register to attend if you do not choose to speak, to be a part of that as well. So lots going on there, Brad.
Hey, Rae, I just want to let viewers and listeners know that each and every one of those featured speakers, when we've talked with them as team members, they recognize that they are there to teach, or that is, participants are there to learn from them. But each and every one has said, I'm also coming to the conference to learn from you. They're coming to learn and to grow their own practice through their interactions with people like you. So remember that what you bring to the conference is as important as what you plan to take away. And by coming to the conference, you're making a difference to these educators as well. So it's an awesome synergy. I can't wait to be right in the middle of it.
So true. I love that reminder, Brad. It's, creating the lineup for a Teach Better conference wasn't just kind of like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo experience. It was curating a massive list of educators and really ensuring that we found educators that were not only committed to sharing their voice, but committed to being better and, choosing to be active in the full conference experience. We didn't want anyone to come in and just share for an hour and then hop on a flight and leave. It was a requirement that these people were, eager to attend full day experiences, attend networking events. We wanted them to not only share their expertise, but choose to attend sessions and be learners and really engage in the whole family atmosphere. And so that is a lineup of very specific educators that are really, really eager to be learners. I really appreciate you highlighting that. It was a very important element that I know many of us debated on as we were crafting up the right lineup for this event. So very special.
If I may, I want to say that I'm so anyway, you chose the word curate, and curating this lineup, and I'm a bit of a word nerd, Rae, and I want to tell you that, and this is really kind of cool. The root of curate is the Latin word curate, which means care. So by curating, you are selecting and gathering with care. And anyway, I think that's the perfect word to describe the intentionality with which Teach Better has curated or gathered this lineup with care. I just love that.
Love that. See, special morning tidbits on Daily Drop-In. I will say there were also other conversations with educators that may not be a part of that lineup yet, but I hope choose to submit to Teach Better Conference. One of which was Caitlin Smith. She was a great interview on Tuesdays, a new face to our Teach Better community, extremely knowledgeable educator that I would love for you all to connect to. That was a fun conversation Tuesday.
Sure was.
On Wednesday, we had Jeff Gargas interviewing Debbie Tenenbaum, who's been a part of our Teach Better community for a long time. So that was definitely a opportunity to go learn from Debbie and, of course, interact with Jeff Gargas again on Wednesday. That was so fun.
Quick shout out to Debbie, and Debbie was my guest on the Good News, Brad News podcast. You can check out that blog and podcast called Tech and Transformation and dig into Debbie's journey as an author. And it's really inspiring. We talk about leadership is for all. Debbie is living proof that it just takes risk-taking plus determination plus community support equals success. So check those out as well.
So good. Yesterday on Thursday, I was able to interview PJ and Jamie Creek, who were a wonderful, wonderful couple duo, educator duo that not only teach full-time in the classroom, but also have an incredible side business that creates beautiful books and infographics for classrooms around the world. It was a really fun conversation to be able to catch up with them. I originally was introduced to them via Twitter, And it was so nice to be able to be with them, learn more about their background, their passion space. And obviously I had their book here to be able to kind of celebrate that as well. So great conversations this week,
Mhm.
Brad.
It's been great. I loved that you were able to interview them as a partnership and team, and lots of great energy, and again, just authentic and caring providers of resources. And so they're adding value to the educational space, but also adding value to their own lives. I just love that.
Yes, very, very important. For next week, we are getting into a brand new theme, and our theme next week is all about refreshing your routines. It is the end of April as we slowly wrap up this incredible month. And as we head into the next 2 weeks, we want to make sure that those routines are very, very well intact so you can end the year strong. We'll be getting into not only your routines as in your personal life, like those teacher care routines, but also the routines in your classroom, the routines that you're putting into practice in your morning and your evening, and even your communication routine. So if you are somebody who wants to do a little refresh on making sure that everything is still up to speed in the best way possible, that will be our focus for next week. We do have a lot of guests joining us next week, so it should be a great conversation.
Yeah, I think of spring cleaning, Ray, and this is an opportunity for us to spring clean our personal and our educational spaces, and also I'm going to say our head spaces, doing what we can to reduce stresses for ourselves, to focus on the essential, and always to make sure that we're sprinkling in some of that joy, the people, places, and things that we really find inspiring and connective, and just spring cleaning time, refresh those routines.
So valuable. I love it. Brad, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day today, and then obviously a weekend full of quiet, simple family time. I hope that it's wonderful for you.
I wish you the very same. And what a wonderful conversation you and I have been able to have this morning, digging into leadership practices, leadership pillars, and foundations. And, our encouragement always is just to go out there and do what you can and look around and make the world a little bit better than it placed in when you left it. And we hope that by doing so, that you find yourself energized and inspired. I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead too, friend.
So good. For those of you who may have a more quiet day for your self plan, don't forget to head over to teachbetterconference.com and check out all the ways you can get involved, not only by submitting a proposal, but joining our podcasters row. If you are an author, you can put your book in the Teach Better bookstore at the conference. If you have a team or a company that you think might want to sponsor the conference, there are lots of ways to sponsor. Everything from including to Jeff Gargis's shoes to the main stage to breakout rooms or comfy, cozy couches for people to enjoy some relaxation. So definitely go check that out over at teachbetterconference.com, and lots of ways to continue to be a learner over at Teach Better, which includes, reading a blog, like we mentioned, Dana's great blog that we saw that's getting a lot of traction recently, listening to a podcast episode and podcast network that we have over at teachbetter.com, or anything else. So lots of fun ways to get engaged today as you kind of head into hopefully a beautiful, beautiful Friday. Brad, thanks so much for coming live with me.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Have a wonderful weekend. And thanks, Ray. It's always awesome to connect.
Yes. Bye, friends. See you later.